don't know about you, but coming back after seeing Accentures, you know, it looks like you go to surf clubs, pub crawls, go out in the lash. It sounds like why wouldn't you want to go there? I only about 4 slides. This is one of them, and that's me. So I don't have any video. I'm sorry. You know, I feel really down now. You know, you got in early. Ultimately, I know Deloitte are following after me, so we're kind of in the same space, but obviously Deloitte are a lot bigger than ourselves. But Grant Thornton, from a little bit of background, I'm 2 years next week actually as in HR, and in the past the internship model wasn't that embraced and was viewed as like transition year. We'll be able to take the person on, will they need a lot of hand holding and so on and so forth. And what we found was that a lot of the courses now, what we're seeing is a lot of courses that you're doing, a lot of other colleges, they're building an internship nearly 6 months to 9 months, some are 12 months, some are 4 months. So what we're actually starting to seeing now is that a lot of the courses that we're tapping into, it's very broad, just like what Sean said. We'd be deemed, oh, you're an accountancy firm. Well, we're actually no more an accountancy firm, we're more business advisors. So gone are the days of where you had audit, tax, advisory, these pillars within a firm. You're now going into companies the way the economy is, and you're asked to help them restructure, assist them, because you're there, you're an advisor to them. So we're, for instance, on our advisory floor, we're seeing a lot of people coming in with engineering backgrounds, with property backgrounds. We're one of the leaders in the country now in terms of recovery and insolvency type work. And we're seeing an awful lot of people that we're employing are coming from property backgrounds because they're the people with that skill set. So you don't necessarily have to be an accountant to be coming in. We have business consulting within there as well. We have forensics also, and we have corporate finance. So the advisory floor is very diverse. So I was speaking to Dara. I see Dara at the back. Put your hand up there, Dara. I met Dara there earlier. And Dara was looking at the corporate finance side of things. And if somebody comes into our advisory floor, they work in recovery, but during the course of the 6 months, we will look to move people around. Because our job is to try and make sure that you have a good experience, because at the end of your internship, we'll be looking to offer you a graduate role with us the following year. We were losing, when I came in, about 20% of first-year trainees, because they were coming in saying, I've always wanted to do accountancy, this is my dream, this is always what I've wanted to do. And then 6 months in, they go, oh Lord, I think I've made a mistake, and they leave. And the reason they leave is that they didn't really get a sense of what it was like to work in an accountancy firm, or a firm, or just in general to work in that environment. So the internship model is actually something that's actually hugely beneficial, not only for yourselves, but for us too. So we actually, our Limerick office would offer normally about 20, would take on about 15 graduates every year. And they go to UL and they get 20 interns out of their co-op, and they would fill their milk round via the intern model, or through the co-op. So they literally have that on a loop, and that's just the links that they have with the University of Limerick there. So, and what happens then is the person gets to move around the firm a little bit more, because we're of a size that we can be that flexible, rather than being too big that it's sometimes we want to keep them where we are. We don't actually have that. We have 2 guys from UL actually working with us now up in audit. They're going to be there for 3 months during busy season, because it's busy season for audit now. And at the end of that, they're probably going to come down and work on the recovery floor for a couple of months as well. So they get a good sense of what it is. So they go back and go, well, what do I really want to do? What do I focus on in my final year? And then they know what it's like to work in Grant Thornton. So the internship model, we took in 10 people last year. We offered 10 people positions. We actually offered 3 from UCC. They came up and worked in recovery. They worked in recovery, they accepted the graduate roles for us to go and work as a chartered accountant. One of them, Lauren Lucy Crowley, I don't know if any of you know her. If you do, go look her up. She actually wrote to us the other day to say she'd actually like to embrace maybe a marketing. She wants to actually look at doing marketing, so we're going to talk to our marketing side to see if they can do a graduate role through there. So what I'm trying to get across is it's very broad. We don't say, well, I'm doing this course. Fine, let's have a chat to you. We're not specific on just being BCom, accountancy and finance, or anything like that. Okay? I sort of waffled on a bit too much there. So, it's kind of here tonight, isn't it? We have a strong history of graduate recruitment. We normally take on about 40 or 50 every year, so the whole idea for me is The milk round, which is that beauty pageant that takes place every October, I'm not good looking enough to attend that thing, so we never do well. So the issue is that I'd much rather be employing interns or doing an internship program where we take people for 6 to 9 months. You'd be treated like a first-year trainee. You find out if it's good for you, we find out and does it work for us, and then you get offered a graduate role. If you accept it, happy days. Then the milk round becomes sort of incidental to us ultimately. That's what we're looking to do, because we're only looking to take on 40 or 50. We're not like my learning friends from Deloitte will obviously look for more, so they, it's a much bigger engine that they have to go through. We'd rather try and be a little bit, you work within the intern model, and then tap into the colleges like this, and having this as a sort of routine for us. So the traditional approach was always ACA, ACCA and so on, but we've now moved in, we're looking at CIMA, we're looking at people who have engineering backgrounds and so on. So the whole graduate program is now becoming far more diverse than we would have been traditionally in the past. Now trying to get that around the accountant's heads can take a little bit of getting used to, but that's the way the economy is and our clients are looking for. They're looking for people with different backgrounds. So they're the people that will be going on site very early. So I can assure you, if you're an intern working with us, you will be client-facing very, very early. You will go on the planning board, which is technically the jobs, very, very early. You won't be filing, okay? You won't be saying, oh, we need this photocopied. That's part of the job, but you will be actually getting stuck in and getting work. You'll be chargeable, all right? So you're actually part of what we do. So you're very much part of the culture of the firm. So we've had to, the wide bit there at the bottom is purely because our clients are demanding a change. They don't want the traditional approach anymore. So we say yes to everything, no to nothing. So we're winning work all the time, work is coming in, and we're finding people to actually service that work, depending on the backgrounds that they are. Okay? You get the client access, you get your qualification that you have even to date, that gets to work very, very quickly. We have a large client base in different sectors. So, I mean, you'll hear about the food sector initiative. We actually employed a couple of guys from China to help us get access to the Chinese market, because obviously they'd have a better understanding than ourselves. We've taken on a couple of people with different researching backgrounds from the food agricultural side. So we tapped into the food ag side in UCD and took on 3 interns, and they're now graduates to help us within that sector. Because a lot of our clients are asking for, do we have that sort of skill set? Do we have that knowledge in the room? So we have to start employing that. So that's where I'm trying to show you that diversity again. And the internship is always going to be in line with your course. So if you're doing a BCom, you're doing accountancy and finance, we will try and find you your home within the firm for that as well. Very simple really. Just log on to grantthornton.ie/careers. You'll see internship opportunities 2013. Fill it in. Tell us where you want to work, and we'll be in touch. It's as simple as that. No video. Surf clubs we don't do, but it might be something we will do. Pub crawls, we might embrace that too. But 25% of the firm are your age, so we're not all grey and old working there. So 25% of the firm are young, so we have to sort of embrace that. We're not stodgy accountants. I'm not an accountant, clearly. I'm in HR. But that we need to try and embrace that sort of culture in the place which we are. We've 450 people in this country. We've 100 across the globe. There are secondment opportunities as well when you become a graduate, normally within your 2nd or 3rd year. We send people down to Australia, to America, and South Africa. So there's plenty of opportunities for that too. So thanks very much for coming this evening. I'm sure you'd probably be thinking of somewhere else you'd like to be. Appreciate it. I'd like to thank Elaine and her team as well for dragging you all out, kicking and screaming. The doors are probably locked, so I'll talk to you when you're finished. Okay, thanks very much, guys.